Smartphones have gotten really expensive. I mean, really ridiculously expensive. OnePlus, who is usually known for great value, just announced the most expensive smartphone they have ever made, the OnePlus 8 Pro. Meanwhile, Samsung decided to make an Ultra version of their S model phones, which is the most expensive S model smartphone they have ever made. So let's see which expensive smartphone is better. This is the OnePlus 8 Pro versus the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra. In this video, we're going to look at what's on paper when it comes to these two smartphones. We're going to look at 5 different categories, and I'll select the winner for each round based on what we know on paper, what was announced for each phone, and in my opinion, I'll select who wins it. Let's start off with the first round. Price. OnePlus, where have you gone? We were so used to getting such a great phone for such a low price when it comes to OnePlus phones. But that may have changed. The OnePlus 8 Pro starts at $899 for 128 gigabytes of storage. So, still not crazy expensive, but more than you're probably used to with OnePlus. If you want crazy expensive, look at the Galaxy S20 Ultra. The Galaxy S20 Ultra starts at $1,399.99. So $1,400 for a 128 gigabyte version. Wow. $1,400 for a smartphone. Yes, we have arrived to that point in this world. Well, we know who wins this round. The OnePlus 8 Pro, even though it's the most expensive phone they've ever made, it still easily wins this round. So let's move on to round number 2, design. Both phones are actually really similar when it comes to design. They both have an almost bezel-less design with a hole punch cutout for the selfie camera. Both have a curved front glass, and they're both beautiful design smartphones. The color options are a little different for some reason. You can get the Galaxy S20 Ultra in Cosmic Gray and Cosmic Black. That's it. There's really no exciting colors for the Galaxy S20 Ultra. But OnePlus and the OnePlus 8 Pro comes in Onyx Black, Ultramarine Blue, and Glacial Green. Really interesting and actually pretty cool looking color options. The back of the phone is where things start to differentiate. The Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra has a huge rectangle camera bump that, in my opinion, just looks really weird. The OnePlus 8 Pro also has a camera bump, but it's not as large and it just looks nicer. This round, of course, is going to be personal preference, but in my opinion, I just like how the OnePlus 8 Pro looks better than the Samsung Galaxy Ultra. And because of that, the OnePlus 8 Pro takes round 2. So after 2 rounds, the OnePlus looks to be running away with this one. But there's still plenty of time for the S20 to catch up. Round 3 is features. OnePlus has really gone all out with adding features to the OnePlus 8 Pro that were missing on previous OnePlus phones. The OnePlus 8 Pro finally has wireless charging, and it's 30-watt wireless warp charge. But that's only with the proprietary OnePlus wireless charger. With every other wireless charger, it's going to be a slow 5-watt wireless charging. The OnePlus 8 Pro finally has an official IP rating. It has a IP68 water resistance rating, which is actually really nice to have. OnePlus actually really stepped it up when it came to the display this year. It's a 6.78 inch QHD Plus display with 120Hz refresh rate. And yes, it's capable of pushing that refresh rate at QHD. Why I mention that? Well, I'll tell you that in a bit. Samsung, on the other hand, is the king of feature-packed phones, and that is clearly the case with the Galaxy S20 Ultra. The Galaxy S20 Ultra has wireless charging as well. It also has an IP68 rating, and the display is a 6.9-inch QHD Plus display, also with a 120Hz refresh rate. The difference is, if you want to have that 120Hz refresh rate, you have to lower the screen resolution to 1080p. So really, you have to pick which is more important to you, a QHD display or a 120Hz refresh rate. So at least OnePlus gave us the option of having both. But Samsung packs in so many features that the OnePlus 8 Pro just doesn't have, like expandable memory with an SD card slot, Samsung DeX, which turns your phone into a desktop sort of computer, which may or may not be important to you, and much, much more. You also get the cool Samsung services built in, like Samsung Pay and the amazing Bixby. Just kidding about Bixby. But those services are available, and you have the option of using it or not. There is just much, much more when it comes to Galaxy phones. Samsung packs really as much as they possibly can in these phones, and because of that, the Galaxy S20 Ultra takes round 3. Round 4 is camera. So, what makes a great camera has gotten really subjective lately. All modern smartphones take good photos, and it's really going to be up to what your personal preference or taste is. Because we don't actually have the phones to test the camera out, this round is going to be specifically based on hardware and features built in to the camera. So let's start off with the OnePlus phone. The OnePlus 8 Pro actually has 4 camera sensors on the back. A 48 megapixel main camera with OIS, a 48 megapixel ultra wide lens, an 8 megapixel hybrid zoom camera or telephoto lens, and a 5 megapixel color filter camera. It is capable of 4K video at 30 and 60 frames per second, as well as super slow motion video. The selfie camera is a 16 megapixel sensor with EIS. The Galaxy S20 Ultra also has 4 camera sensors: a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, a 108 megapixel wide angle camera, a 48 megapixel telephoto camera, and a depth vision camera. The S20 is also capable of 4K video recording at 60 frames per second, but it can also record in 8K video at 24 frames per second. If you have an 8K TV to watch those videos on, you're gonna probably enjoy it. But for the 99% of people, 8K video recording might not be a big deal. The selfie camera is a 40 megapixel sensor. Both phones have impressive hardware, but the Galaxy S20 Ultra is just a step above when it comes to hardware. When it comes to features, both phones have night modes and portrait modes, but once again, Samsung throws everything you can think of into their phones. I mean, just look at all the scene optimizer modes it has. It actually has a scene mode for a dog and one for a cat, because of course your dog would look ridiculous if it didn't have the right mode to take a picture with. But to be fair, the OnePlus 8 Pro has a similar mode as well. The Galaxy S20 Ultra also has Space Zoom, which is a 10 times hybrid optic zoom and 100 times super resolution zoom. So you can be that creepy guy spying on your neighbors. The only way to truly see which camera is better is by actually getting these two phones in and testing out the cameras. But by just looking at the hardware and the features, without a doubt, the Galaxy S20 Ultra takes round 4. So after 4 rounds, we have a tie. The 5th and final round is performance. Both phones have a Snapdragon 865 processor, But the OnePlus starts with 8 GB of RAM with the option of moving up to 12 GB, and the Galaxy S20 Ultra starts with 12 GB and it has the option to move up to 16 GB of RAM. Both phones are going to be snappy and quick to use. The OnePlus has a 4,510 mAh battery, while the Galaxy S20 Ultra has a crazy 5,000 mAh battery. The OnePlus 8 Pro with Oxygen OS should be really easy to use and quick and speedy. Samsung and its One UI has a lot more going on, but Samsung has done a great job simplifying things and it should still perform great. Both phones have an in-display fingerprint sensor and 5G capability, and the bottom line is these phones are the top of the line phones when it comes to performance, at least for Android. You might prefer the clean feel of Oxygen OS or the feature-packed feel of One UI. This is probably the most difficult round of them all, and if I had to pick which phone I thought would perform better based on what we know and what's on paper, I would have to choose the Galaxy S20 Ultra. It has more RAM and battery, and even though that doesn't tell the whole picture when it comes to performance, I think it's enough to make the Galaxy S20 Ultra the winner of round 5. So, after 5 rounds where the OnePlus 8 Pro came out strong, the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra had an amazing comeback, and the winner of this tech battle is the Galaxy S20 Ultra. Once again, both of these phones are amazing. They're going to be great choices if you're looking for the top tier smartphone. Of course, this is all once again based on what's on paper and what we know about these phones so far. Things can change when we actually get the phones in our hands, but hopefully this gives you a better idea of which phone is better for you. What did you think of our pick for this tech battle? Let me know with a comment down below. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos just like this one on tech news, reviews, and much more, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell icon so you don't miss any of our new videos. Thanks for watching.